Well, hello. I hope everybody's having a good day. How is the stream quality on YouTube? Because YouTube is lying to me. YouTube is lying to me, I think, because it's saying that the stream status is only okay. I don't fucking believe that. I believe the stream status is good, but it's lying to me. Can we confirm that the stream status is not just okay, it is good? Perfect. I should have started up with a nasheed. Now that's not very Hanukkah of you. That's very anti-Hanukkah of you. But yes, happy Hanukkah, everybody. It's the 4th day. Technically, on my background, I should only have 4 lights lit up, but that I'm lazy for that. All right. Our champion of the people today, Rebecca Hernandez Gabier? Is that it? How do I pronounce this? Gerber, not Gabier. Rebecca Maria Hernandez Gerber is who we're going over, but their name, you can call them Bex. And this person is one of the cult classics of my little farm. One of the favorites. It doesn't get much attention, but it has a very, very dedicated fan base. And that's because Bex is one of the most consistent outputters of entertainment on the site. They are non-stop entertainment for everybody who watches. Bex can best be summed up, I think, as a culmination of all things that Poll hates. If Poll hates it, Bex clings on to it as an identity. All right. Before we get into this, because we're warming up, in the first 5 to 10 minutes, I like to give people time to remember the stream's on and get back in. Only about, I think, now it says my stream health is good. Now it admits it. YouTube, you liar. Before we go over that, I want to go ahead and show people the latest that I've done. I touched on this with the last stream. I went over Kitty Style a little bit, but it's time we talk about Kitty Style, because Kitty Style is going off the deep end. And I'll just cover this until I get bored of it, and then we'll move on. So let me go ahead and pull up Firefox once I get the thing set up. So Kitty Style is I see the spam. Thank you for the spam on stream.me. Kitty Style is this guy. Now, again, I know a lot of you don't follow the streams that I do outside of Wednesdays. Wednesdays are the streams that I actually put together a proper broadcast, or at least I try to. And on the other days, I just kind of dick around and I eat up time, about 2 hours a day, because people apparently like listening to me. I've heard people tell me that they fall asleep listening to my streams. I don't know if that's a compliment or some kind of backhanded compliment. But I'll take it. I'll take it for what it's worth. So Kitty Style on Stream.me, and I appreciate people wherever they watch. But Stream.me has its own little ecosystem. It's not like YouTube where it's so big that people are in their own little bubbles, right? Stream.me is just Ethan Ralph and the Ralph Retort, and a lot of that kind of drama. So this guy, to sum him up, he's a Danish guy. I think he says he has ADHD. I don't know if he has adulthood ADHD or if he just clings to ADHD from his childhood. But Kitty Style says that he has his ADHD. I think he has schizophrenia. And he basically, from what I understand, he either lives in an attic or he lives in a camper van. And he streams literally 18 hours a day to an audience of 10 to 20 people. And for the last few weeks, he had a good thing going. On Stream.me, if you have a certain number of points, right, you get cash. The Stream.me just pays you because they're such a small streaming platform, and they apparently have some kind of big money investor behind them. They're compensating their top streamers for bringing traffic over. So that would be me. That would be Ethan Ralph. Andy Worski was doing it for a while too, but he had some tech issues. So In general, if you stream enough, if you get enough attention, if you have enough activity in your chat, you get points. And the top 30 places get cash amounts from $20 a person to $650 per person per week, which is pretty good money. And when it was a very small platform, Kitty Styles and Narcissa would stream literally 12 plus hours a day to very, very few people just to farm those points and collect their weekly stipend. So that was essentially their job for a number of years. But then Ralph comes over and he brings a bunch of I don't want to say mean-spirited people. I don't want to say trolls, but he brings some less scrupulous people onto the Stream.me platform. And this guy immediately freaks out, right? I'll show you, I don't know if you can see this too well, but if you look on the right-hand side, you'll see that this is Kitty Style in a chat for one of these other streamers, just spamming cancer, just spamming it. He's not taking it too well. And this in particular, this channel is ran by somebody called the Danish Police. Now I'll explain what the Danish Police are in a second, but it's ran by a guy called Alex, and this is what Kitty Style has to say about Alex. And there is no audio for that clip, but I'll enable audio right now.
Dude, I want to beat him up and slash him. I want to fucking slice his throat. And I'm probably going to go to jail for that, but I don't give a fuck about shits like that. Dude, if I saw him in real life, I would beat the crap out of him.
Now, you mentioned that he might go to jail for those comments, and that's not unfounded. I'll get to this in a second, but let me show you what he was doing before this drama happened, when he was comfy and just doing his streaming thing for money. He was basically drawing these drawings here, and I don't know if they inspire people in any way. There's some stuff that borders on not safe for work, but after all, we are an art stream and we're curating art, so it's fine. Just this kind of stuff. I particularly like this one because it reminds me of Sonichu. It's called Pika Seahorseachu, which is pretty close to Sonichu, really. And that's a helicopter. And that's him snorting vomit. And that's another screen cap from the guys trolling him. Now, he has these problems, right? But he also has either a wife or an ex-wife or a girlfriend or an ex-girlfriend and a kid. And they don't live with him anymore because they parted ways after he went to jail. And he went to jail because in 2016, a Danish politician commended police for their raid on a marijuana traffickers within the country. And this is the message that got him in trouble. It's in Danish, I think that's the language. So I can't read it, but somebody, Zugzug from the Ralph Retort stream, was willing to translate it for me. And he says, I have a question for May Mercado. Do you want to die? Because if you do, then do it any way you see fit. Then you can end up like that woman from England, referencing a British politician who was shot in the head around the same time. You are playing with yours and your child's life. Now you are warned. P.S. I wouldn't do anything, but I can sympathize with people who might want to stab you and your child with a knife. So he went to jail for 6 months. He surrendered his social media account to the police. They verified that message came from him. And then he was convicted and sent, I think his sentence was 7 months, but he claims he only got 6 months because they put him in solitary confinement immediately. Now, people have told me that conflicting information. They say that none of the Nordic countries would have solitary confinement. They said that would be, contrary not only to the UN, but to the Nordic countries' very high quality of life in prison in general. But I've also heard that Denmark in particular has been in trouble for using solitary confinement inappropriately. So he sticks to his guns on that and says that in the hour of socialization he was allowed per day, the other inmates treated him like a messiah figure, like a political martyr. And that kind of ties into how he feels right now. He is dead set on becoming a local political martyr. He's going to stand up to the bullies. He's going to stand up to the trolls, and he is going to put us all in our place by not giving in. And he's going to do that by screaming at people constantly. In particular, we had this conversation where I eventually decided, like I said here, I had gone out of my way to avoid allowing any of his drama to be on the Kiwi Farms because I do stream to Stream.me, and I like Stream.me. And I don't want to, harass one of their longest running streamers when we just got there. But he's been doing this. He's been having, nonstop fits for 18 hours a day for weeks to the point where you can't ignore him. It's just he is unchanging and unapologetic, and becomes, bolder and more aggressive with what he does and what he says and the mental breakdowns he has. And in particular, there was, I think it's on the second page where they just clipped that. Actually, I bet I can find it in that video. Go ahead and find the exact moment where I've decided I have had enough of this guy. Still there. Still there. I don't remember talking to him for this long. I bet you that's it. Sorry for this. I didn't have the whole kitty style thing planned out ahead of time. Just Bex. And I want to do a little warm up before we do that.
Kitty, do you know that half the people in here are like big streamers on streaming, right? I mean, I don't think you're doing yourself any favors.
I don't care what the fuck they are.
Let me finish. I don't think you're doing yourself any favors by coming in here and calling everyone faggots. Honestly, I mean, do you
Why
think
not?
that's a good idea?
They act like...
That's like walking into a bar and like...
Why can't I not call them faggots if they act like homos?
Surely someone will take you up on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they're just gonna make more fun of me because blah 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 blah. Now it's justified, and now Kitty, I love it.
You keep giving in to their provocations. Of course, they're gonna make fun of you.
I don't see why.
Okay, let me explain then. Let me explain.
To me, it explains perfectly. It's just shitty people.
Let me explain.
You don't get when it's not fun anymore. You don't get all this time. I didn't have fun. I've been through suffering and pain, and you're putting me through more suffering and pain.
And
you make it worse. You like. I don't know what your deal is. I was put through suffer and torture every single day. I was tortured every single day for 6 months. I was tortured every single day.
Yeah. Okay, dude.
I was tortured every single day, and you wonder why it bothers me. I was tortured every single day in prison, and you wonder why I don't want to put up with more of your fucking torture. You wonder why it makes me angry. Are you so stupid? Do you not understand anything or what?
I do appreciate your comparison of being made fun on the internet as the same as being locked up in solitary confinement for 6 months. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, Kitty, you gotta be like. I mean, let me explain.
Blacked.
I know what a troll is. Sucks. Just forget it. I know what it is. I want to address the fucking shit. I want to make sure that they know that they're bullying somebody that already has been through a lot of pain and suffering. So if you want to add more pain and suffering to me, be a guest. Make me a fucking martyr. I'm Jesus, okay? Crucify me, you faggots!
Can you explain to me what a troll is?
Crucify me! Crucify me! Go!
I don't want to crucify you. I don't want.
Make me a fucking martyr!
You're not a martyr. You're not like. There's not like a retard movement that you're gonna be a martyr for. You're just gonna be yet another one of these nameless, faceless fucking people that everybody makes fun of on the internet.
Yeah, do you mean like you?
Sure, if you want to go that way.
Oh,
you're gonna be just like me, big boy. You're gonna be just like me, big boy.
You could always be like KSG guy.
It's just like
nobody knows who that is. That's just you.
You're not a martyr, and you need to get over yourself. I'm sorry.
you're still a loser.
Okay. You see, you make fun of me, and I just go, okay, or I don't care, and then nobody has anything else to say. There's not like a 60-minute live stream about it. People don't dedicate channel names.
No, but unlike you, I will keep defending myself.
You're not defending yourself. You're not.
But that's the
bullying
problem.
me,
You're
and I
defending
will
yourself.
keep coming at you. I will keep coming at you forever.
Just ignore it.
Go
Forever.
for it.
Forever.
I already have.
Forever. Let's see who gets tired first. I will come to you forever. Okay? I will make it a problem for you every single day. Every single day. I will be relentless. 23 hours a day. I will be relentless.
Well,
23 hours a day
I
for the
don't
rest
have
of
people
my
threaten
fucking
me.
life.
Go for it. You know this. I
All
like
right.
this. I like it when people threaten me. You take it easy, kitty.
Don't threaten us with more content. Oh no.
Kitty, that was a really dumb move. That was the one guy who could have prevented you from ending up on Kiwi Farm. Like, all you had to do was convince him that you were willing to make some kind of progress.
Oh
Okay,
wait,
y-
Josh left.
Yeah, he
What is
left.
it?
He
Oh.
left. It's over.
It's
Yeah,
over.
he's like on his
Like,
way
Kitty
right now.
just
Gonna make the
threatened
entry.
Josh's life, and Josh just fucking left. That's what just fucking happened.
Done fucked it.
Yeah,
I don't
no, like
care.
you pissed off the wrong person. If
I don't care.
I would
don't care.
apologize.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. Why should I
Hey
apologize?
now, that's enough of that. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a nice guy. Okay, don't slander me with this wrong person nonsense. I'm a delicate angel, and in that way, in that regard, I am the delicate angel, like Bex. So now we've got a full stream. We got a full house. We got 1,000 people between the streams. That's good. That's good. Let's go. Fuck it. Let's do it. I got. It took me 8 hours, but I got it. I got my handy dandy notebook. I got it fucking full. Oh, jeez. Okay. Let's start with Bex. This is Bex. Wait, I'm sorry. This is Tommy Wiseau. This is Bex. That's not much of an improvement. Bex is she has her history in video games, video game archival. Let me put it like that. Now we'll get into her full work history in a bit. But she's been interested in witchcraft. She's a child to Cuban immigrants. Constant crybaby. Absolute constant crybaby. And I'll go through some of that. Unfortunately, Bex doesn't have that much video content. But she does have tweets. Lots of tweets. And we're going to be going over those tweets. She is Jewish, of course. That's why we're doing. I went out of my way to pick a Jewish locale on the fourth day, on this Wednesday, because people tell me, Josh, you're too kind to the God's chosen people. Surely, Josh, you must on Hanukkah, you must go out and find one of God's chosen who is a locale, because I know they're out there. Your partiality against the Gentiles is marked and disgusting. So in the name of fairness, we'll be talking about Bex, who is Jewish. Not only are they Jewish, they're trans. They are, of course, because they're the child of Cuban parents. They're Latinx. Here's that fucking word again, Latinx, Latin X, however the fuck you pronounce it. And they're also polyamorous, DD little girl, or big daddy little girl. I don't know what the fuck it is. Daddy little girl in BDSM, because we need to hit those bingo cards. We need to black out the fucking bingo card on oppression points, and that's not an accident. It's almost Bex has almost specifically crafted their identity to be as convenient for them as possible. And whenever anybody says anything to them, oh, I didn't even write this down. I got the notebook. I've been doing this for 8 fucking hours. You hear this? You hear this? 8 fucking hours. I didn't even write down in this category that they're disabled. I don't even know how they're disabled. They claim they're autistic, and they claim that diaspora or, whatever the fuck it is, dysphoria is their handicap. But they put the little handicap emoji in their name, right? So it's like, it's like that doesn't count. Like, I've met a cripple who was so crippled they're like they can't walk because their leg bones have broken 1,000 times. That's what a handicap is. Handicap is not fucking being autistic, right? Does it wear diapers? I'm sure it does. I don't even know. It calls all of their husbands, Bex calls daddy. So I guarantee you some diapers are up in there somewhere. It might not even be on her. Oh God. But yeah, just pure. I don't like the word degeneracy, but Bex is pretty fucking degenerate. Oh, and since they're not on my Christmas list, since I know this is the hot thing at the moment, they were also at some point a furry, just to make sure all our bases are covered. White girls fuck dogs. White girls fuck dogs. White girls fuck dogs. The best song. So what's an average day? Why do people follow Bex? They're not widely known. Their thread is 500 pages almost, but they've got a very small, dedicated fan base of hate followers, right? And you might think, well, what is it about this person that draws them in every day? And it's because every day Bex has something on their Twitter, a new rant, a new psychotic mental fucking breakdown over the dumbest shit, right? I'm just showing the Twitter header. One of these fucking people, you already know what I'm talking about. You've seen them. 51,000 tweets to 2,000 followers. You already fucking know what I'm talking about. These motherfuckers that tweet 1,000 goddamn times a day. You gotta do something on Bex's orbiter, Jake Alley, the Gnome King. Jake Alley's name is written in the stars, but for now, we will be ignoring them. So let's look at something. This is recent, and a lot of this is going to be me reading, so I apologize if you don't want to hear too much reading, but it's tweets. I gotta do what I gotta do, right? So, okay. This is their name at the moment. Librarian Bex Gerber of Unseen University, Jewish star, handicap sign. I can show you the scars in the ER reports, but you just call those fake too, so why bother? At Zeld Alit Hoogs. Talking about another fake suicide attempt, because they are constantly on Twitter baiting about suicide. This Nazi has been harassing me all night. Would appreciate y'all reporting it. By the way, this user is a part of a forum that has been stalking me for over 2 years with 150 pages dedicated to doxing and detailing my every moment of my life because I worked in a video game that made them angry. I wish I was kidding, but yeah, 2 years of targeted harassment by a channel board full of scum who have been encouraging me to kill myself for the crime of having been a trans person in gaming. Left the gaming industry years ago, but that doesn't matter. These folks stop harassing you when you're dead, so don't bother telling me to ignore it when stalkers are dedicated to destroying my life for this long. You folks who have an entire board dedicated to deciphering not only your every movement and social media post, but every single person in your life in an attempt to isolate you. But don't worry, because Bex has their circle of orbiters. Somebody mentioned Jake Alley. Jake Alley's a little bit too thick. To bite off with Bex. So we'll be saving Jake for later. But this is just a little scrap that everybody can enjoy. Tiger Teeth Bart, you don't deserve any abuse. In my grad school, my classmates warned me not to go into video games because it was too toxic. And, it was all toxic masculinity and harassment. I don't think when you were in school, people knew what toxic masculinity is, but whatever. But I insisted that gaming community was more than that. Hubris sucks. Doesn't mean you deserve it. Well, trying to believe you, heart face. Who does Tiger look like? Let's take a peek. Oh. Exactly what you'd expect Tiger to look like. Literally exactly what you'd expect. Oh, I see people pressing X to skip. I'm moving my mouse over. Gotta hide this shit. Almost, my button's so heavy. I'm clicking it. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Don't worry about it. It's gone. Okay. Here's another just day in the life, right? I hope I got these in the right order. I do not. Let me shuffle this. Sorry, it's really like my entire desktop is just fucking covered in caps for this shit. It's really hard to manage all the shit I've clipped for this. Loving your abuser doesn't negate their abuse. Begging your abuser to come back doesn't negate the abuse. Trying to act normal around your abuser doesn't negate the abuse. Normalizing your relationship with your abuser is a tactic to regain control. It's a maladaptive coping technique, but a very well-known one. Almost all abuse victims do it. Assuring your abuser that he will never harm you in a way to assure yourself he never harmed you. Abuse is complicated. When someone tries to pretend it is or isn't, that's a big red flag that they just don't want to believe abuse happened at all. And this is regarding one of their, I think their name is mentioned in the next one. Punning Pundit. And I couldn't, like, again, they're polyamorous. They have a bunch of different lovers. I've foregone Punning Pundit. But if you check out the thread on the forum for Bex, It does have more details. Hellfire, I think. Yeah, Hellfire has been updating that OP for some time, and it is it's longer than the article on Hitler in Wikipedia. It's got some good information. So this Punning Pundit, one of their polyamorous relationships, was after they broke up, of course, was abusing them. And what's interesting about this story just isn't the abuse. It's Kaylee. Kaylee has only ever caused major damage against 2 people. Both were abusive, now exes of mine. So really, she was doing a public service. Oh, after Kaylee tore a chunk out of Punning Pundit's hand, she just sauntered over and plopped in my lap like she didn't give a fuck. It was glorious. Face of terror right there. Kaylee also had... Okay, this is funny. Casey also had a habit of stealing sex toys right before play session. If they were too big, she tried to yank them off the bed, particularly leather toys. What I'm saying is, my dog is a rapist detector. Convinced myself she just wanted his attention, but it's pretty obvious looking back that she wanted him to go the fuck away. So this is one of a couple stories about that shitty little dog in general, where she's just like... This shitty little dog is a hero, stopped me from killing myself, knew about rapists and shit. And one of my favorite stories that I don't have any tweets for, but I'll just recount it for you, was she telling people that her cat jumped into the tub to stop her from killing herself. So, I mean, all of Bex's dogs are magical. Actually, let me pull... I didn't even save this one, but I do want to pull it right now. Because it's... Like, I didn't want to do a whole thing on just this, but I think it's relevant. See, as I mentioned before, Bex is a witch. Let me blow this picture up for you guys. So Bex is a witch, right? And she made magic candles for some time. And, maybe she was able to give her dogs and cats magic powers to protect herself, like a warding thing. I think actually, I did clip something regarding her witchcraft, so we'll get to that in a second. So that's an average day. That's a day in the life of Bex. I promised some ancient history on her. And, let's see. So this is from the International Center for the History of Electronic Games. Ice Heg was pleased to welcome Rebecca Hernandez Gerber, our latest fellowship recipient. Rebecca spent a week with us studying how differing versions of video games affect institutions and game preservation. While here, she played games from such iconic franchises as The Legend of Zelda and Pokemon. Very, very hard work. Here's a picture at the archive. Busy sorting through junk, right? So what's this trans person been doing to get our attention? It goes all the way back to Gamergate. Now, there's a lot to say about Bex and Gamergate. Too much, and it's so old. I didn't feel like including that. Again, there's so much to go through with Bex, and she's not like a Christian. She's not like a Tommy Tudor where it goes back a decade. But there's too much to talk about in one video. I would run myself into the ground, and people would get bored if I talked about Gamergate. But a particular event that did happen during Gamergate was with Jesse Single. Jesse Single is, I think, from what I understand, Jesse Single was a feminist male writer, so male feminist author, but Single was unique in that they were not too trans friendly, right? So they were trans skeptic, or at least they didn't toe the same level of extremism towards gender identity as a lot of people do today. Right. So this is, if you were to Google Jesse Single right now, you would get this shit, where their name is essentially ruined. Who is Jesse Single? On the Atlantic's transphobic cover story. We warned the Atlantic about Jesse Single, but they ignored us. He's a writer for the New York Mag. And my Jesse Single story from The Whipping Girl, I guess that's another hit piece. Jesse Single crystallizes what's wrong with cis-normative media. And when children say they're transgender, The Atlantic. So that's the article I think that everybody's pissed off about. In general, he's somebody who's left, but he isn't that left. So a lot of what this covers is, I think, this is Bex talking to Jesse Single as Inch Lurker or Rarebit. Your position is me tweeting someone calls their email to fill with mentions. Got it. So I think what happened is Jesse Single retweeted something stupid that Bex had said, right? And I can't read all this shit. But they have a freak out. Jesse Single retweeted something so that people in their followers could see it. Bex did not take it properly. Did not take it on the chin. Decided to give up this account as the ableism and misgendering is harming me, and I clearly hate used enough to keep watching my mentions. Oh, hate used like hate watching, but hate used her account to see all those mean, awful, transphobic things. If there is a threat against me or an article made, or if Jesse grows a conscience and stops aiming a slew of hate, let the boys know. Otherwise, my preference is to break down alone. Not for long. Everything is public. Oh, even after that fucking, oh, Jesus Christ. Even after that tweet, I think it took them like 6 hours to lock down their account. So, reset, transform, this is fucking nuts. I don't know if I can read this either. Okay. Is archivist Bex a troll? Wait, okay. This is what it is. Got news. Parents, this is the initial incident, I think. Parents have texted me this morning. Last night calls were off the charts. They considered my email and decided their child is dead. In the light of swarm of calls, my parents have requested I never contact them again. The only thing I care to fight for is gone. Thanks, Jesse. Your support for trans families is astonishingly high. I've already said sorry for using the word mention instead of email. That was insufficient. Jesse was out for blood. Is archivist Bex a troll account? Any history there? I want to know the precise nature of how I'm being messed with here. Jesse knows what transphobia does. He knows what Gamergate does. He used social media to whistle Gamergate and target a trans person, and I'll never recover. So, I think Jesse was anti Gamergate, feminist, even pro-trans, because I'm pretty sure Jesse Single is friends with Brianna Wu. Correct me if I'm wrong. But something happened. Jesse retweeted something stupid Beck said, and this fucking tirade comes out. It doesn't matter. Of course, I deserve to lose everything I care about for using the wrong word as a disabled non-native speaker. So now they're falling back on being Mexican or Cuban, whatever. Same fucking difference. So you want to help me? You can't. I have no intention of picking up the pieces without my family. You want to be a decent cis ally? Don't let this monster get away with it. Don't subtweet. Call Jesse out before he hurts someone else. There is no mercy left in me for an ableist, transphobic bully using his platform to destroy marginalized people for one mistake. Call Jesse Single out by name to his magazine and warn folks before he hurts someone else with his bigotry. Y'all know I try to forgive. This time, I do not forgive. There is no forgiveness in me for this ableist, transphobic monster, Jesse Single, or a damn one of you if you don't call this out. My family is gone. Don't let him hurt anyone else. Purposeful, bigoted language that crucify marginalized folk for one mistake are meant to show the marginalized their place. My place is the garbage? Fine, so is his. This is the reality of what happened last night. Read through Jesse's timeline to see bigotry in action. I am disabled. I have communication issues. I have been in a panic all week. One error was enough to force Jesse Single to rip me apart. Jesse Single's repeated errors, though, misgendering, ableist language, dot replies, gaslighting, all excusable. To demand folk under years of nonsense to perform perfectly in a non-native language is utterly absurd. I apologized immediately to Jesse for screwing up my language under pressure. His response was to misgender me. Jesse's response to my panic about using the word mention instead of emails to tell, I can't even read this shit because it's all like a clusterfuck. She's becoming more hectic as things go on. To tell a swarmed harassment victim to go to hell. We should ask New York Mag, which is his employer, as we pointed out, if they feel their writer's actions were appropriate. You can note the contributors to the account. Jesse will not alter what he has done. He has took out a trans person that annoyed him, but the magazine should answer for it. If you are tweeting Jesse Single right now, I urge you to instead respond to my New York Mag, PR, and RT that to other accounts. Thank you. And there's so much fucking more. The epitome of privilege, Gamergate only attacks me on Twitter, ergo this marginalized person invented harassment. Retweet the fuck out of this. Jesse straight out said my screwing up on one word means I invented all my harassment. Jesse didn't just deny my harassment last night. He denied all my harassment for 2 years. Oh, God. Jesse erased all my family, has experienced the calls, emails, all of it because he has never been harassed off Twitter, so neither can I. This is so much bigger than how Jesse is hurting me right now. He's rewriting years of my life based on his personal opinion. Please tell me I'm not crazy, folks. Tell me this has been happening. I don't know what's real anymore. This is in response to another trans person. This is so fucked up. Big hugs and lots of love for you. I don't know what's real anymore. Though I've got a sinking... This is where the ass patters start to come in. Though I've got a sinking feeling this won't be the last time he discusses this, and the next time he does will escalate to a new level. May I look at my RT? He has actually said it's possible I invented all my harassment. I've seen it. He also called you a psychopath. I fear he'll escalate things with you further. He won't stop until I'm dead, but I already knew that. I will try the washcloth advice. Anyone have a remedy for someone respectable is using their clout to send an avalanche of abuse so it's okay? Oh yeah, finding my hand shaking when I type because I'm so scared of using the wrong word again and getting punched more. These kinds of people continue to use their platform to push down folks annoying them. I've a hunch he will be dragging me down through the mud. Folks, I'm going to need some signal boost. Neither of these have any retweets after 4 and 6 minutes. Anyways, my psych agreed me not to 5150 me if I remain at home under hubby observation, since I'm not currently a direct threat to myself. Hubby will be a phone filter for today. All calls and texts go through him first. So I'm just reachable. Just ask for permission, I guess. Going to spend today realizing this person has decided to ruin my life, but accepting he's only doing so out of privilege and fear. And this is from the husband allegedly. This is I'm contacting the police. You gave my husband a seizure. Tweets. There are men trans folk using today to attack me for not being the right trans. They are trash. If you run into true scum like Aofi loves owls, please report for targeted harassment, as they will also go after any of Beck's friends. Thanks. Edit for above. Many thank you. If anyone knows a good psych for trans issues in Los Angeles, Bex has had a rather awful session with his and needs a new one. Jay. Trigger warning for ableism and transphobia. True scum are abusing the current situation to police what is real trans. Please report. Apologies to Beck's followers harmed by the lack of trigger warning. Hopefully this is sufficient. Also, cats. As cis at a loss for how to aid Beck's latest gender dysphoria due to these people, ignore if appropriate by any resources on this. And we would appreciate if the typical parties decide against scapegoat Bex after this monstrous behavior. Keep it out of his mentions. Knowing any temporary defense Bex received would be replaced once major voices threw him to the wolves. Caused him the most pain. That sentence does not make sense. Knowing any temporary defense Bex received would be replaced once a major voice threw him to the wolves, because, yeah, that's fucking gibberish. For his family's sakes, if any of these so-called game feminists decide to turn Bex into collateral damage, do not inform us of such. Last evening, I watched as Brianna Wu favorited tweets by Jesse Sengel. That's not his name. Jesse Sengel, as he targeted Bex and ran him into the ground. This family has quite enough of tech feminism. Okay. Let me take a drink of water. I'm going to die. You think this is making me stupider? Trust me. It is. It's actually happening. Oh, God. I felt like I was going to die. Next time I can't get that much text. To recap, though, Jesse Sengel called out Bex for asking for ass pads, basically. And Bex has a complete fucking mental breakdown because Jesse Sengel retweeted one of their messages to the point where they almost got 5150'd for being a risk to themselves, and their husband had to come on to Twitter to defend them. Fantastic. Okay, so this is just the start. And between this story of how they had a massive chimp out and got into the Brianna Wu thread years ago in 2016, and this chimp out that I'm about to read, there is daily shit like this where they are just a fucking menace, right? And let's take a look at chat and see if there's anything I missed before I go into this, because I need a breather. Jeez. Don't destroy me for one mistake, but crucifies him for one misunderstanding. Sounds legit. Yeah, it's yeah, no, expect a lot of that. Expect a lot of that from this person. People in the forum have described Bex as one of the most viciously unpleasant people on the entire site, which says a lot. He said it's possible I invented all of my harassment. Your actions have consequences. Who'd have thought? Well, not usually. Not if you're trans, Jew, Cuban, feminist, and in tech. Not usually. Can somebody tell Bex Jesus called and wants his cross back Messiah complex much? Maybe we can crucify Bex alongside Kitty Sal as they die for our sins. And speaking of Tumblr, after they ban Not Safe for Work, where do you think these people will go? My bet is on Twitter. They are planning on going to Newgrounds, and I'm not kidding. Okay. That's enough of that. Hairdressers. Okay. So here are two fantastic moments. I'll do a Stream.me poll. For which one you guys want to hear first? Which story first? I already know which one's going to win, but do you guys want to hear the election night story first or the hair styler story? Tell me. I'll give you a hint. The hairstyler story is funnier, but you know, election night's politics, and everybody likes some good political Schadenfreude, so that might edge it out. No, they can't ruin Newgrounds. I'm a bit late for that. Newgrounds has been fucking dead for a long ass time. Oh, jeez. All right, I'm waiting for the results. Let me check and see what's going on. Election. I see YouTube really wants election night. Of course. No, it's about 50-50. It's about 50-50. I'm shocked. I'm fucking shocked. I thought you guys would definitely want the election night one. Let me refresh. Oh, it's literally fucking neck and neck. Literally neck and neck. I'm gonna have to wait this out till the poll closes in a minute. Less than a minute now. A couple seconds. Okay, election night 41 to hairstyler 38. That's a lot closer than I expected, to be completely honest with you. All right, election night. Let's load it up. Raise a glass to freedom, something you will never see again. Hashtag election night. Is this what my family fled Cuba for? Is this the American dream they almost died to reach? What was the fucking point? It's over. Didn't get me that time, motherfucker. There's too much still to do. I don't want to go yet. Please don't make it impossible for me to stay. Haven't fixed video game archiving at Riot or seen Tokyo Disneyland and the Studio Ghibli Museum or married Daniel or had a kid or I finally got my life together. I don't want to die now. Oh, god damn it. Do I have to fucking do this? I think after reading that, I think you know what's coming. I can't pass that up. There it is. Unfortunately, I can't play the song and read the tweets at the same time. So we're just gonna roll around in it for a second. All right. Is this what my parents fled Cuba for? I thought this was a repeat. Bex tends to fucking repeat themselves. I've noticed. Is this what my parents fled Cuba for? So their child flees again. Is this the kind of world we live in now? Do I have the right to run? I can't go yet. Riot is a dream. It's Daniel's dream. Maybe it's smarter to leave, but my heart will break if I don't stay. So thankful to this beautiful community, but also so terrified that folks know without question to help us get out if they can. I've now gotten 6 different offers to find me a place, or straight up offering me a role at numerous EU institutions so I can get out. We're all falling apart. I'm just trying to use what I've got left to hold my Ohana up. Oh, that's a fucking Disney movie reference. Oh, God. Help each other get through tonight. There's so much more. If you see a Trump supporter, walk away or block. Don't engage. They'll attack you soon enough. Why stick around for it? No Trump supporter can be trusted. If you're disabled or LGBT, they want you dead. If you're a woman or POC, they want subservience. This country has declared open season on POC, LGBT, and disabled folks. There's nothing to protect us now. Oh, geez, how sad. How sad for you. You might have noticed a couple of name drops there. Daniel and Riot. Now, that's no spoiler. The title of the video is The Riot Games Destroyer. But that's your first in-video spoiler of what's coming up. Because there's a story I think many of you will know about. That's right around the corner. World's smallest violin. How do I get into that timeline? Trump supporters are going to gun you down. Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. Well, you'd think if they were Jewish, they could just go to Israel, right? I wonder if they considered that. Okay, here's the hairstyle story. This is a summary by Hellfire. Again, the Beck's thread on the Kiwi Farms is pure quality. If you want a nice long read about somebody crazy, Hellfire has done you good in that thread. So just reading him verbatim from private messages, people help me get this stuff together. Becky with the bad hair sat silently in a salon, getting a discount hair dye from students, ignoring the stylist and using Twitter. Fishing for ass pats, Rebecca lied and claimed that the woman there was mocking her hair dye while the stylist was actively working on her hair. The stylist was able to look down at Rebecca's phone and saw Rebecca making shit up on Twitter, and apparently she or some other woman who was there has found Rebecca's Twitter and called her out for lying and being ungrateful, causing Rebecca to chimp out and lock her account after calling the women cis bitches and airheaded. So that's one of the best fucking stories that I've ever heard. It just in the site, in the entire site, the idea that some fucking idiot is sitting there, impotently sitting with their phone out while getting their hair did, and ranting and raving like a fucking idiot, and getting called out on it in real fucking time by the people working on them. That's some good shit. So let's go through those tweets. Fuck today. List of people willing to be there when I'm on the verge of meltdown is apparently 0. In regards to how few people liked or commented, nobody commented on the fucking tweet. 2 people liked it. Angry at this. Don't retweet my fucking messages, you cocksuckers. This is their hair, dude. I think this is what it looked like before. So, oh geez. You know, I think the blue looks better. No, you know what? The red does. The red does. Yeah, definitely the red, chat. Definitely the red. It still looks crazy. Yeah, well, of course. that's not in fucking question. Hey, I see some K words in the chat. This is a Hanukkah stream. Mind your fucking manners, please. Librarian, don't tell an autistic person to chill like a condescending ableist brat. Go fuck yourself. You know, Kitty and fucking Bex would get along great. Maybe Kitty can be the third husband. Oh, this is in response to a message saying, maybe you should go to a real salon next time. Also, they take time so they don't mess up. Chill, Aquamarine. Tweet about having difficulty with an overstimulation environment. Getting told to chill by a random. Well, okay, bitch. No one asked you. Nobody asked your fucking opinion. I was sitting there getting my hair did, and then I was That's the first time I pronounced it stimulated by, I guess, the linoleum, maybe the clippers. Going fuck you, chat. I can't help it. There's a hole drilled in my fucking brain where I cannot pronounce that word unless I try, okay? This is why I can't learn Russian. I can't speak fucking English. Going home to relax. Thank y'all so much for the kind words. Seriously, has telling someone to calm down ever worked in the history of the universe? Some food helped me calm down, at least. I fucking bet. I need that Common Filth sound clip he used with the little. I need like a soundboard of shit that I can use. You mean like students making comments about my appearance? But that's okay, right? This is in response to a tweet. You went to a school to get your hair colored by a student at a very low cost. If you had gone to another salon, you would have been paid well over $200. Disability or not, you can't go around talking smack about people. It's not cool. Who the fuck are you again? I guess that's their official response to that little piece of advice. Night folks. Yeah, I guess they feel better when they fucking yell at people on the internet. I mean, I do. I know I do. After 2 years, Paul Mitchell getting shit talked by other students, then follow up harassed on my social media account. Is it for me? I don't even know what that means. Looking for a new salon in Las Vegas. I guess they're too fucking embarrassed to go back to Oh, you know what? Paul Mitchell is probably the name of the salon. I guess they were too embarrassed to show their fucking face at that salon, though. Remember that Josh plans to be an English teacher? Fuck you. I can speak English good, okay? Apparently I'm being trolled by people from the salon I went to. Guess Paul Mitchell's isn't worth my time anymore. Okay, bitch, back to your airheaded friends now. Where are these cis bitches in my mentions coming from other than a sewer? Fuck off, students that did my hair. I'm really sad I spent my money there. Students from the salon followed up by harassing me here, which is especially fun. And I've been going there for 2 years. I'm really grossed out I ever went there to begin with. Can you believe that shit? What the fuck? I had always found people who snark about women with colored hair to be the most boring and basic douche nozzles in existence. Students from salon followed up by harassing me here, which is especially fun. Just read that thread. Wow. I'm sorry you went through that. Seriously, Paul Mitchell, US, is that the kind of conduct you think is acceptable from students and employees? I just want to point out that batshit toad lady. Wow. That's her name. I didn't give it to her, okay? That wasn't some mean, cruel nickname I came up with. Batshit Toad Lady accurately fucking described themselves. Oh, God. This one's named Victim. I don't even remember what it's for. Oh, this is the salon lady. No one was talking shit. You were tweeting in front of her face if she didn't even exist. As if she didn't even exist. Did you really expect her not to catch a glimpse? How about you learn some fucking respect? It's uncalled for. You said not one word while you were in the chair the entire time. Grow the fuck up. The girl who did your hair is extremely talented. No one around you said anything negative about you or anybody with fashion-colored hair. In fact, multiple people came up and complimented you on your hair. Hashtag real news. If you went to school to get your hair colored by a student at a very low cost. If you had gone to another salon, you would have paid well over $200. Disability or not, you can't go around talking smack about people. Not cool. So how do you guys think she reacted to this? How do you guys think? I'll give you a hint. Not well. Not very well. When the fuck were these tweets? She's tweeted 25,000 times in 2018. Wait, hold the fuck up. Look at this shit. That's now. I captured that today. 51,000 tweets today. And in January... Wait, this one had the date. January 27, 2018, she had on her account 25,000. That's unbelievable. That's fucking unbelievable. Holy shit. Can we bring up a calculator real quick? Okay, 300. I'm just going to give her the full 365. Divide 25... It's more than that. It's 25,500 divided by 365. That's 70 tweets a day. That is 70 tweets a day. Like, if you're awake for 18 hours, divide 70 by 18. That's like 4 an hour, every hour for an entire fucking... That's unbelievable. Get a fucking life. Like, for real. Okay. Let me drink some water. We gotta... Have you missed much? You are just in time for the best part. Oh yeah, with 0 engagement. Look at how many followers she has. It's unbelievable how small her world is. Okay. Here we go. Here is the best part of this story, the most relevant part of this story to all of you. And this is the part I spent the most time on. Let me read my notes. Make sure I got everything right. Okay. Yep. This is good. Every time you see Bex, my brain shuts down. Are you like in a fucking coma? Here, trigger warning, trigger warning. I've killed that person. They can't breathe. Oh shit! What did I delete? Ah, fuck! I deleted something of critical. Oh, okay. I know what I deleted. I accidentally deleted something of critical importance, but it's right here. Here's another picture of Bex that you might find less funny. That is Bex, our video game archivist at Riot Games in California. I mentioned that Bex was at Riot, was a video game archiver. They contracted her for 6 months to go to Riot Games in California. She worked there for some time, right? And was a full-time employee, I think for about 6 months, at least for a little while. Now, I know what you're thinking. What happened? Why does she no longer work in Riot Games? Well, my children, we're gonna go into that. Okay. While at Riot, so let me warn people in a very real way that if you become an employer, if you hire people, do not hire people like Bex, and I'll tell you why with one tweet. This is from some other fucking blue tick box. This is saying that kink is okay as long as it's closeted. That's the logic used to censor sex workers on social media. And yes, furries exist and are stigmatized. Many of them are queer.
White girls fucked
I've literally had folks at jobs of mine say I can't be a team lead because subs, as in submissives, aren't good at taking charge because my online social media profile says I'm into BDSM. What the fuck? Yep, also made a pointed comment that because my dom worked at the same company, oh geez, I'm pulling at my fucking neck sleeve right now. I can't. What do you call a neck sleeve? Oh, geez. That's not the right word. What do you call the thing your neck goes into? Whatever. Also made a point comment because my dom worked at the same company. He might interfere or influence the decisions. A collar. That's right. Thank you. Thank you, chat. Needless to say, my white cishet dom received no such commentary. Head explodes from Sunlight Warden. Sunlight Warden fucking died. He's he's dead, chat. Oh, jeez. I think me saying neck sleeve is is more funny than fucking anything I've shown you from Bex. Okay. Next next slide. What worries me is that it won't be evenly applied. My former tech company absolutely said they helped employees with online harassment. In practice, that meant my partner had to be hit with the same harassers as me for my harassment to warrant aid, packaged as part of his aid. Like, the only reason our company ended up helping me at all is because my partner and I lived together, so I got the same benefit for living at the same address. It doesn't matter what's on paper. Tech companies don't listen to some of us about ongoing harassment. Thank G-D. Sorry to rant. Guess I don't trust anyone anymore. I'm glad someone is addressing the imbalance. We got to fucking CSI Miami that shit. We got to CSI Miami this shit real quick. Let's see. Reset, transform. Enhance. Oh, would you look at who it is? That, I didn't even notice this before. How nice of you to pop in. Liz Fong Jones. Hold up. Just let's take a little detour. Oh geez, I got my my music ready to go. That's not what I wanted though. All right, Firefox. So Liz Fong Jones, once upon a time, if you remember my my stream about Trans Lifeline, Liz Fong Jones was a Google employee who sent an email to my email provider, my VPS provider for my email server, telling them that they should take me down. And to let's just pull it up. I'm just saying that the tech companies, Riot Games and Google, they need to be more selective, I guess. Just selective. Okay, back to the story. Oh yeah, she had a pink neck sleeve around her neck. It's been 2 months since I found out that someone used me to get their friend a job, replacing me, and it still hurts. When does that stop? Oh, whoops, they got fired. And they trained the replacement. How awful it must be to act the role of a cis neurotypical ally and friend so you can convince a disabled trans person to hire your friend. These people I invited into my home for the holidays, I considered them family, and it was all just a strategy to move up the ladder. Not sure I'll ever really get over it. They're still friends with a partner of mine, of course. That's a professional connection they haven't fully exploited yet. Wait. Hold up. Professional connection they haven't fully exploited yet. Partner. Okay, but do you guys let's pause on this for a moment. Let me get a sip of water. But you tell me, chat. Do you think they handled this with grace and civility? Do you think they handled this firing well? I'll give you a hint. No, they did not. In fact, they have lied at various times about walking away from the job because of harassment versus being fired. And we'll look at some of that. So, this is the kind of comment, by the way, that got Bex fired. Best part of leaving Riot is not having to hide my utter contempt for its majority trash fan base. Let's give it up for Riot, everybody, who hired this majestic fucking creature to represent their company. Best part of leaving Riot is not having to hide my utter contempt for its majority trash fan base. Get fucked, League. Oh, perhaps I haven't been sufficiently clear. If you're a League fan, it's a safe bet I hate you. My interactions with the community have been 90% racism, sexism, homophobia, and transphobia. You're simply terrible people, and it is my sincere wish you all die miserable and alone. Toxic trash like League players have no right lecturing me on hurting their beloved game when y'all spent years harassing you. My life would be better off if I never knew this game and its associated fan base existed. Honestly, I have zero fucks to give at this point. My game industry career is long behind me. Why play nice to harassers and bigots? Oh geez, but there's more. Bex didn't just stop there. Bex doubled down. They published Medium articles about this. So a few details to start this off. From March to August 2015, I was the Riot Esports archivist as what we called a blue badge, or contractor position. In August, I moved up to a red badge position as a full-time employee, as art archivist. As art archivist, I remained at Riot for an additional year and 4 months. After that, I left the company and the game industry entirely. Not fired in this story, coincidentally, left. I've subsequently gone to film archiving, and I have zero intention of ever returning to the industry again. Before I came out as transgender in August 2015, my experiences in Riot were entirely based on sexism. This was when Gamergate was still in full swing. I was rather quickly targeted by a group as a mentally ill Latinx person, and the harassment was, to put it mildly, intense. Dozens of individuals wrote letters to esports demanding I be fired for being anti-gamer. Oh god, I wonder why. All I had done is say the same choice words many said about Gamergate, but it didn't matter. These harassers wanted me fired, and Riot always puts players first, even if their players are harassing their employees. I'll never forget my manager taking me aside and letting me know this email campaign was happening. He told me these people were complaining about me having a Patreon, so I should delete the Patreon to stop the harassment. I told my manager this would do nothing, but deleted it anyhow. A week passed before my manager brought me in again and told me that the emails weren't stopping. It was only later I discovered that a higher-up manager in esports demanded I be fired for my anti-gamer behavior, but my manager and manager's manager fought to keep me. Well, that was nice of them. He sure fucking rewarded them. So a story comes out sometime later, right? Let me see if this is too far in the future, because I want to point out what happens after this. Oh, this Kotaku put out an article at some point in 2018, basically saying that Riot was a hive of harassment. This is very important. Every word is true. Y'all ask me why I would give up a job like archivist at Riot Games and abandon the game industry entirely? Read this. Again, she wasn't fired for contempt for the customer base. She wasn't fired for gross incompetence, for being a lazy, disgusting slob. She left. Presented as a woman, for example, has always played role-playing games and has as much during their 24 phone interview for a position at Riot, not at all adjacent to games development. The interviewer then asked if they played real games like Call of Duty. They recalled. He kept going, kept rephrasing the question. No matter how many times I listed all the things I played, they said in the end, if he asked, if someone just met you, how would they know you're a gamer? I said, well, looking at my TV right now has 16 games consoles plugged into it. I think that's a comment from them. I had to leave work for the day because I can't stop shaking. Y'all, Riot was my dream job. It was my dream job. My dream job. Where was I? Oh. I worked hard in graduate school with a singular focus to preserve video games. They meant the world to me. I was so idealistic and hopeful when I joined Riot. I really believed the hype. And I left so broken. I've been in therapy for years. For years, I've been harassed because of the time I spent in the games industry. That's to be expected. But what really hurt was knowing that no one believed me. The loneliness was suffocating me. Do you believe me now? How many voices do you need to finally believe that Riot is an abusive cesspool? Not everyone at Riot is terrible. My partner, someone I love more than anything, is still a developer there. I love his passion for work and players. I wish I'd met more Rioters like him and his team, but most aren't that. Also, a number of League fans have informed me that Riot article had nothing to do with me because it's about sexism, not trannies. So that's fun. Once again, my trans ass doesn't exist in a larger harassment narrative. It's not like this constantly happens to me or anything. Frankly, I could have killed myself like I wanted under all that shit at Riot, and no one would have given a remote fuck. 0 likes. Just found out that when I came out as non-binary, multiple rioters complained to each other about the inconvenience of using my pronouns and even more commiserated over how justifiable that frustration is. But it's okay that multiple rioters were complaining. About the great... What the fuck? Did she have a stroke writing this tweet? What the fuck is wrong with you? About the great injustice of using my pronouns because they're RuPaul fans. May Riot burn to the fucking ground. Fucking rioters misgendered me purposefully for 18 months, but have the nerve to complain about how inconvenient my pronouns are. I attempted suicide because of y'all assholes. Fuck y'all, she says. Nobody cared. Christian says, just read your story and I'm so sorry. I was told I made people uncomfortable when I reminded them the reason things were falling apart was because I had cancer and they didn't backfill me the months I was out, forcing me to return to Riot early. I'm sorry, I left the company the day I had my first cancer scare and no one cared. They just asked who got my stuff from my desk. They're not very good at empathy. By the way, the cancer thing, she had, because she's in a polyamorous relationship, that guy I mentioned at the start, the abuser, quote unquote, had HPV or something, and she had the very first signs of HPV. Fuck. I fucked myself. I'm an idiot. I was going to save that as a surprise. You know how they keep saying that they're trans? I guess I have to break this egg a little bit sooner. They are male. They claim to be female to male. They want children. They do not look at all male. They say it means I have vagina and boobs and associated chromosomes, but terrified my parents by saying I'm a boy as a kid. That's right. So from here on in, consider me a gender fluid, mostly boy with they, them pronouns. If you're using a gendered language that doesn't have a neutral, that's fine. Just please defer to he, him, rather than she, her. Not going to apologize for the inconvenience to coworkers, family, acquaintances, and this is while she was still working at Riot, by the way, or loved ones. I'm allowed to change on my journey. Tonight, I'm finally comfortable in my own skin. Haven't felt that in all my time out. Think I'd like to stay here if y'all don't mind. Unfortunately, had to close my DMs due to being sent threats along with graphic concentration camp photos. Sorry about that. Lots of dead children in the images too. A few fetuses referencing my recent miscarriage. You know, classy stuff. A few tweets thankful for my miscarriage so the world doesn't have more freaks like me, or especially lovely. But remember, it's about ethics and polyamory, anti-Semitism, and ableism, folks. As a queer Jew, this shit is a fucking death threat. There is nothing ironic about it. If you ironically do the Nazi salute in front of me, I'm ironically punching your fascist ass. The Nazis didn't have an alternative opinion. They want to continue their genocide of my people. At what point do Americans see an issue? There are no two sides to genocide. It's like taking a nice bath. After reading some shit like that, you just gotta wash it off. Let me get a sip of water. Hello, my fellow white people. Trust me, that gets funny too. Let's go back to Riot for a second, though. NDA, this is the last of the post-Riot tweets I've got locked up. Here's a hint, though, and why I spoke out despite my non-disclosure agreement. I specifically signed a non-disparagement clause. I can't talk shit about my former employer, right? That means they have to prove I'm talking shit in court rather than telling the truth. Good luck with that. So that's them basically challenging, like, if you wanna contest anything I've said, you gotta sue me. Now, here is the interesting thing, right? I kept hinting that there was something on the horizon, something relating to to their associate at Riot Games. Well, what could I be referring to, right? Let me pull up Firefox. You guys might remember this story. Wait, no, not that one. Oh, okay. Okay. No, wait. Which one do I want to show first? Just tell me, chat. I'll wait. Do you see a resemblance here by any chance? Do you see? I mean, it's not too close, but do you see any kind of resemblance? Well, okay. If you don't see a resemblance, don't worry. But let me demystify things for you. Hey, did you see that big, wonderful new bay from League of Legends? Kiva likes that design a lot. And then Bex, two one of her two boyfriends at the time, Daniel Kleins, who does work at Riot as an artist, I think. Just a little bit of a tip. Now, people in the Kotaku in Action, no, people saying I'm blind. Now, this isn't me saying this. This is Bex hinting at it, and people from Kotaku in Action and other places saying that there is a resemblance. Now, I see people are bringing it up now. We're getting to there. If you think the tentacles are a coincidence, by the way, Rebecca has been cucking Jackson likely since the moment they met, and she frequently finds men online to e-date/have sex with, including married men. Rebecca pretends she is a little for daddies and has been involved in the daddy little girl fetish since her 20s, and Jackson, they've been together since before that, and doesn't think that there's anything wrong with a 22-year-old dating a 60-plus-year-old. Somehow, these pervs are still interested in Rebecca as a little, even though she's now in her 30s. These online BDSM kink relationships with daddies and doms have caused much drama and have supposedly led to rape, abuse, abortion. Rebecca wanting to leave the kink scene in a sexual relationship with a daddy named Punning Pundit, which resulted in Rebecca getting HPV and eventually pre-cancerous cells, resulting in an LEEP, which I think is a miscarriage. I'm not too sure. Or maybe some kind of cancer testing test. An e-begging scheme. More on Punning Pundit and the cancer e-begging are detailed in the section below. Rebecca and Jackson are on sites such as OkCupid and FetLife. Rebecca claims to be a furry. Oh God, do I need to do this again? Claims to be a furry with an ocelot persona and uses neck sleeves, leashes, and cat ears as part of her pet play fetish. Rebecca is addicted to Twitter, and it is not unusual to see her spend 10 plus hours in a day using it, even while she is supposed to be at work. Rebecca frequently tweets about crying or sobbing at work, usually triggered by things she's reading off Twitter. When she had a temp job at Fox Studios, her boss reportedly let her cry under her desk. Rebecca has claimed to be leaving Twitter forever multiple times over the years and will often delete her account for maximum attention whoring, but she always comes back. So no, the tentacles are not a thing, or not a coincidence. It's probably one of the kinks she has. And it's very likely that Daniel Kleins was responsible for this getting put in and trying or persuading people in the game industry, in Riot in particular, to make it look like her. Now, you guys might know who Klein is. You might remember this tweet. The reason that sexism against men makes no sense as a concept is that men have the power. They're privileged in so many ways, from small invisible things to large outrageous things, like a confessed abuser and harasser like Louis C.K. can just have a comeback and that's fine. Klein, and this is them together, he's the fat one, made or organized an event at a League of Legends convention and specifically put together a panel that said, "No men allowed." And again, this is husband number 2, usually 2 of 3 or more with Bex. And he got into some shit. He got into some deep dog doo-doo because he put together this pro-woman panel at League of Legends and tweeted out a bunch of dumb shit about men. Now, this is an article from Kotaku, of all places, archived, thankfully, about 2 Riot employees under leave, and they were eventually fired, under complicated circumstances after PAX session excluding men. In the wake of public allegations that Riot Game has fostered a sexist workplace culture, 2 longtime employees exited the company yesterday under hazy circumstances. System designer Daniel Klein and communications associate Matthias Lemon, both outspoken advocates for gender diversity at Riot, are no longer working at the company following a contentious weekend involving a controversial PAX West panel. Last month, Kotaku published an investigation into the culture of Riot Games, the publisher of blockbuster competitive game League of Legends. 24 current and former employees painted the picture of a company where women are systematically disadvantaged, in which they have been regularly hit on, talked over, publicly insulted, and passed up for promotions that were given to men, all as a direct result of Riot's obsessively curated culture, which fixates on what they call core gamers. In recent weeks, Riot Games has made moves to correct and atone for its culture. In last August, Riot released a roadmap for its plans going forward. Last weekend, it hosted a session at Seattle, Washington, PAX West, meant to help women and non-binary participants enter the games industry. Now, a lot of those panels were interesting to anybody who was interested in making video games. But because of what Daniel Klein and Matty has put together, no men could enter it. So it was inherently a sexist event, and it got them fired because it was complete bullshit. Klein confirmed to The Verge that he was fired for violating our social media policy, not specifically for putting together the dipshit event, but his reaction on Twitter after the fact, probably following encouragement from Bex, to be honest. So, if you're wondering about that, if you're wondering about what kind of people fucking Google and fucking Riot Games are hiring to make their game, if you're wondering why like Fiona looks like a fucking social justice warrior, if you're wondering why Liaoi is like Eloy, what the fuck is her name? Looks like a tentacle fetish person. That's why. And it has a little bit to do with our favorite Screecher on the Kiwi Farms. So there is one final thing I need to say before we wrap this up, I guess. I had to come clean about the trans thing, right? I had to come clean. She's also not a Jew. Additionally, while I may be Jewish now, I was not at birth. Please use the Gentile spelling of my dad's name. Thanks. My response to the Trump admin is to embrace becoming Jewish as much as possible. We began weekly Shabbat meals on Friday. All are welcome. We invite over anyone who wants a meal, lively conversation, safe place, or time with family. You are our family. Join us any Shabbat. Doesn't matter if you're a stranger passing through Los Angeles, it's our privilege to welcome you to a place of love and respect. This offer is not solely applicable to Jewish folks, any religions, or none at all. Welcome in mutual respect and friendship. I just started converting to Judaism while in the midst of an election where people blame the Rothschild-driven Jewish media conspiracy. Only acceptable response to this timing is oy vey. But seriously, we're blaming the Rothschilds for controlling the media? What century is this? Going to bed, wake me up if a small Nazi child starts singing Tomorrow Belongs to Me on ABC or something. Every single Nazi helped murder my people. 6 million of us died. They're all bad, you schmuck. And later you used ableist language too, making it clear you're not defending nice Nazis, but agreeing with them. Okay, and this is a series of tweets in proper order from oldest to newest about something called Aliyah. Shame some of us Jews don't count as Jewish according to Israel and therefore can't make Aliyah. Really wish I could make Aliyah. There's a reason why I'm trying to figure out how to make Aliyah, because apparently my husband can't too, so we're fucked. My way of dealing with today is to figure out how to make Aliyah. Yes, I'm not giving up. Yes, I'm giving up and making an escape route just in case. Don't care if that makes me a coward. I'm literally trying to research how to take my dog with me while making Aliyah. Trying to figure that out today, actually. Need to see what documentation is required to prove I'm Jewish enough to make Aliyah. I'm probably Aliyah, sorry. I know I don't have that paperwork now, but maybe I can find a loophole. And for a second, I looked into whether we should make Aliyah if something happened. And ultimately, my husband and I decided against it unless we have a child, in which case one of us leaves with the child and the other stays. I certainly hope every single person that flees would do exactly that. If I were to make Aliyah, that would be my path. And I hope someone who did make Aliyah would go back to the U.S. once crisis is averted. And I'm suggesting that measure now because the documentation needed to make Aliyah is very difficult if you're in an interfaith family, as most Jews are. So I hope to encourage folks with an X to get paperwork in order before such an emergency. Until such a time I make Aliyah, my Cuban American ass is not responsible for Israel. I'm responsible for the United States that I live in. Telling me to shut up about the U.S. until I sufficiently atone for Israel is massive anti-Semitism. And if you don't know what Aliyah is, it is the Jewish policy in Israel that any Jew can come back to Israel and get citizenship. So basically, what they tried to do was convert to Judaism, even though there's pictures of them going to Disney World and eating lobster, which is forbidden in the Torah, and just basically doing a really shit job at being a Jew so that they can flee to Israel. And I guess so that when people talk to them, they can accuse them of anti-Semitism as well. But no, as far as that goes, that plan did not work out. They're still in the United States. Sorry, Bex. You're not going to Israel. All right. I think I might be calling it quits there because I'm gonna die. If I keep reading this shit, I think I'm just going to fucking die. So thank you all. There's a ton I mentioned again. Big thanks to Hellfire, Neural, Ride, everybody who helped me put together these clips. Bex's thread is hundreds of pages long. Bex puts out this kind of content every single day. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Tons of fucking people watch. That's about 1,500. That's fucking crazy. And let's see. Do I have a outro song ready? I hope so. Oh. Okay. Yeah, this is my song. All right. Take it easy, guys.